sir. Well, you're all very punctual. I like that. Hey, aren't you Marshall Fox from the New York Herald? It's good to see you again. I still say you look too young to be a newspaper reporter, though. But I guess that just means I'm getting older. I'm turning 33 next month, in fact. Hey, Marshall, will you do me a favor and hold these for me? Thank you. Well, I must say, it certainly is a pleasure to have such fine-looking members of the press with whom to share a part of New Year's Day. Now, not that I'm complaining or anything, but it certainly is unseasonably warm for January, isn't it? Must be a good omen. Well, I hope 1880 turns out to be a grand year for all of you. It certainly will be off to a good start once you file your stories about the refinement of my new light bulb and lighting system that will change the world. Now, I'm sorry you couldn't be here last night for the first public demonstration, but I'm sure you've already read your colleagues' stories and heard all the talk about the town when you arrived this morning. However, I want you to hear the story now straight from the horse's mouth. The horse being me, of course. And then I want you to tour my lab and talk to my men. I guarantee you won't be able to write your articles fast enough. All right. If that sounds a little overconfident, I apologize. But you see, the fact is, I am extremely confident and excited about the future of electric light and electric power. Oh, Marshall, I'll take those back from you now. Thank you kindly. I trust you didn't sneak a peek. Did anybody see him copying any of my secret notes?
No.
All right, it's all right, but you never can be too careful. Anyway, let's get the preliminaries out of the way. For anyone who may not know, my name is Thomas Alva Edison. The papers have called me the Wizard of Menlo Park and the inventor of the age. Well, that one, I'll just leave that for history to decide. But as for the wizard nickname, I can't escape it. Now, take a look at this. This is the New York Daily Graphic from last July. Here they have me printed in some ridiculous-looking hat searching for platinum for my experiments. It's pretty silly looking if you ask me, and I really don't see the resemblance at all. Oh, I've also been called a genius, time and time again. Now, I don't mean to sound immodest. I'm just trying to make a point, so please humor me. See, the fact is, I'm just a common man like anybody else. However, I believe that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Right, put that one in your papers. Not me in some pointy hat. Anyway, since I'm trying to convince you of the importance and validity of my work, I need to toot my own horn a little bit. And I want to share with you some of these words that others have written about me. It's kind of hard to do that without sounding like a braggart, so maybe some of you can help me. Could I have some volunteers to read these words that you might call endorsements of sorts? Anyone? Sir, great, come right on up here. There you go, now read that nice and loud so everybody can hear you.
George Bernard Shaw said, American technicians who had come to London adored Mr. Edison as the greatest man of all time in all areas of science, art, and philosophy.
Everybody hear that? The greatest man of all time. Huh? I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, sir. All right. Who would like to read the next one? Anyone? Sir? Great. Thank you for volunteering. There you go.
Thomas Edison is a loner, but he is very friendly with working men. He is greatly respected. Edison works harder, longer, and more effectively than the rest.
About time somebody noticed. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Please, one more final indulgence. Who would like to read the last one? Oh, great. That's so kind of you.
My paper said no recent addition to scientific knowledge is more important than Edison's work with electric lamps. It begins to look as if all the gas companies of all the cities of the world are to be replaced by his new invention.
I hope you're right about that. Thank you very much. How about a hand for my brave volunteers? All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you understand that I'm not boasting. I am simply trying to impress upon you the remarkable potential of my new light bulb. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the dawn of a fantastic new age, but how did we get to this point? You see, understanding my work is crucial to understanding why supporting me is so necessary and important. I want to pose a yes or no question to you that you need only answer in your minds. Do you believe that I, Thomas Edison, invented the light bulb? Well, the answer, of course, is no. In fact, there were 21 inventors before me who experimented with electric lamps between the years 1838 and 1879. For over 40 years, these inventors from all around the world tried to create a light bulb that wouldn't burn out after only a few seconds. So, no, I did not invent the light bulb. However, what I did invent was the world's first successful and practical light bulb and complete electrical system. So how did it all begin? Well, my work with electric lamps began in August of 1878. My invention factory that you see all around you here was crucial to my success. I have 60 loyal men who work here, practically around the clock. And they're all specialists in their own fields, such as chemistry, glass blowing, mechanics, carpentry, mathematics. And if you listen really hard, you might even hear them working upstairs right now. At least they better be working.
They are, Mr. Edison. I'm bringing over some cherry pie
Ooh.
from Sarah Jordan.
All right, thank
And
you.
we are working on those calculations you gave this morning.
Great, thanks a lot. Anyway, the way we all work here together as a team, it really is unprecedented. Now, this complex is not only the center of their lives and mine, it truly is a home away from home. Sir, please don't put that one in your paper, though. Our wives already chastise us enough about the amount of time we spend here, so we really don't need them seeing it in their morning papers. Anyways, much as I always appreciate and welcome a kind word from the press, since your publicity helps our cause, a great deal of our work here needs to be done in secret, since the threat of key discoveries being stolen is always present. Now that's why you made me nervous there a minute ago. Now, you look innocent enough, but spies always do, don't they? Mm-hmm. Anyway, where was I? Yes, so I struck a big bonanza in the fall of 1878 when I discovered the key to the problem was preventing the incandescent element from melting. Now, I publicly announced to your paper, madam, the New York Sun, that I have it now. With this process that I have just discovered, I could produce 10,000 lamps from one machine. And then I also announced my plans for a complete electrical system that would replace the old gas lighting system by using dynamos. So the next thing I did, I turned my attention to finding the proper incandescent element or filament for my light bulbs. I tried carbon, then platinum for a time, but I eventually returned to carbon. Now you may have noticed a little shed around the other side of the lab when you first came in today. We kept kerosene lamps in there burning almost constantly. My night watchman, Alfred, he would come in and remove all of the soot or carbon from the lamps so that we could use it for our experiments. We tried carbonizing all sorts of different materials, since carbon has the proper high resistance to keep that filament from burning out. Now, we made thousands of tests with hundreds of different filaments made from a wide variety of materials. Sir, what was your name, by the way?
Robert?
Robert, of course. I thought I recognized you. You're one of the top writers at the Tribune, aren't you? Hey, I've read your byline many times, Robert. Excellent work. Hey, I want to try something fun. You want to help me out again?
Yeah.
All right. I want to tell you a few of the materials that we tested as filaments in our light bulbs, okay? Now, we used all of these but one of them. So I want you to tell me which one you think I'm just pulling your leg with. Are you ready? All right, here it goes. We tested paper, a fishing line, cedar, spruce shavings, a poodle tail, and cork. So which one of those do you think we didn't really use, Robert?
Paper?
No, it was paper. We actually did. Give you one more guess. Which one of those sounded kind of funny to you?
Poodle tails?
There it is. It's the poodle tail. Hey, Robert, you want to know why?
Why?
Those little poodles are just too darn fast. I never could catch one. It's a good joke, right? All right, good. So anyway, boy, we experimented for over a year without ever losing hope. You know, people would often ask me if I thought about giving up. Honestly, I never did. You see, the trouble with other inventors is they would try a few things for a while and then just quit. But I never quit until I get what I want. I remained optimistic, and I knew with all my heart that I was on the right path. And that path led me to discover that carbonized filament needed to be enclosed inside of a vacuum to prevent it from oxidizing and burning out. So, in the lab, we made a modified combination Sprengel-Geissler vacuum pump. Now, this machine would draw all the air out of a glass bulb by using mercury. So my glass blower, Ludwig Bohm, right over there in that glass shed, made a wide variety of different bulbs that we tested till we came up with the most successful shape. So, finally, in October of 1879, we came up with a one-piece, all-glass globe that could maintain that vacuum. On October 21st, I then tried as a filament a simple piece of cotton sewing thread, which was carbonized. Then it was bent to a horseshoe shape, and then it was sealed inside that glass bulb. Now, after all the air was sucked out of the bulb through the vacuum treatment process, we took it off the pump, we placed it on the electric current. There was light. Oh boy, there were many breathless moments, I can assure you, as we all waited to see if it would just burn out quickly like all the others did thousands of times before, but it didn't. So there we were, just past that middle window up there. My men and I, we sat there watching the glowing light. We were waiting to see how long it would burn, so we watched. And then we watched. Wow. Guess what we did next? We watched, and the longer it burned, the more fascinated we became. None of us even went to bed that night. As the hours passed, our fascination turned into elation, because finally, after 13 and a half hours, I realized that the first practical incandescent lamp was born. The problem was solved. Finally, a light bulb had been produced that had true commercial promise. So in November, I announced that I would demonstrate my new light bulb to the public on New Year's Eve. I arranged for Western Union to send 2 linemen out to erect all these wires that you see running around you here. People thought I was a darn fool, but I paid them no mind. I didn't waste my time worrying if they were right. Now, you see, as a cure for worrying, work is far better than whiskey. It's not hard work that kills, it's worrying that kills. You were one of the skeptics, weren't you? Yeah, I remember now. That's right. It's okay, though. No hard feelings, Joe. I'm sure you'll be singing a new tune in your next article. Right? Oh, boy. Anyway, here's what caused all the fuss. This is the carbon filament lamp, December of 1879, just last month. You know, it's interesting to wonder what advancements this might make by its 25th anniversary in 1904. Even harder to imagine is what's this going to look like in, I don't know, let's say 130 years, in 2009. Will it look even remotely like it does today? Or maybe somebody else will come along and devise an entirely new system that doesn't even use electricity. Who knows? Maybe my achievements will just fade into obscurity. Nobody will even remember my name. Unless they dig up one of my dusty old notebooks. Oh, anyway. Hey, young lady, do you think that's going to happen? Do you think nobody's going to use light bulbs in the future? Do you think my name, Thomas Edison, will be forgotten? Oh, good. Well, I hope you're right about that. Hey, you must be one smart reporter, huh? All right, so, as you all know, the first public demonstration took place just last night. Now, many people begged that I call it off. See, they were afraid that if I were to fail, it could do great damage to my career and my credibility. But I knew that it was too late to call it off now. Besides, like you, I believed that this was going to work. Hey, you believe now, don't you, Joe? All right, so last night, even though the weather was stormy, I made believers out of over 3,000 visitors who poured into this complex and all down Christie Street. There were scientists, capitalists, run-of-the-mill curiosity seekers, and reporters just like yourselves. The machine shop became the world's first central electric generating station as all the lamps lit up. It was a magical moment, to be sure. Some people cheered and clapped. Some just stood there, speechless in amazement. You know, and I even saw a tear trickle down the cheek of a few sentimental souls. It was quite a night. However, we have no time to just wallow in sentiment. We still have a lot to accomplish here. Now, remember, we have invented an entirely new system that has no precedent. There's simply no place in the world we could go and just buy the parts that we need. We have to make everything. So yes, there is much to do. And that's the only time I really become discouraged. When I think about all the things that I would like to do in the little time in which I have to do them. You know, the thing that I lose my patience with the most is the clock. Its hands move too fast. Time is the only capital that any human being truly has, and it's the thing he can least afford to waste or lose. Well, speaking of time, it looks like ours has come to an end today, whether we like it or not, I guess. So, folks, I hope I've inspired you all to write positive stories, and I encourage you to tour my lab and ask my boys any questions you have. So, folks, you've been a great group today, and I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.